Hey guys, this is Jason Simpson with StreetCopMillionaire.com, and I'd like to just share with you real quick what is probably the most common question I get asked about people that are interested in real estate investing. Now, for you guys and gals out there that are more experienced investors, this is probably going to be pretty basic stuff, but my goal right now is really to get some people out there that need some cash and enable them to be able to do it, or at least to believe that they can do it. That way they'll take some action and maybe make some money. You've got any comments or anything to make on this, I think that'd be great, because especially if you're experienced, because that way maybe some of the people that don't have the experience will have the belief then and say, well, hey, it's not just Jason telling me this, there's other people too that are doing this, and that way they can maybe think that it's possible for them, which definitely then leads to action, which definitely then leads to success. So my first thing is really the main question I get from people is, can I really make money in real estate if I've got no money and no credit? And my answer is yes. And well, not with no money. It's going to take a little bit to get started, but it doesn't take much. The most important thing is knowledge. The way and the best way I suggest for you to get started investing is by wholesaling properties. And basically that's finding a deal and selling it to somebody else that is looking for a deal. And in today's market, you can still do that. The deals have to be just a little bit better than they typically are, that you'll find online or on in the MLS or anything like that. Is it still doable? Absolutely. Are there people doing it every day? Yes, there are. And by wholesaling, in my opinion, it's by far the best way to start investing in real estate with no experience, no money, no cash, no credit, and the least amount of risk. So first of all, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not an attorney, I'm not an accountant, so if you're wanting professional legal advice, don't come to me. I'm going to give you my opinion on what I've done, and we'll go from there, and hopefully it'll help some of you. I'm going to try and make this pretty quick, just a little quick overview, and hopefully I can get some comments on here, and hopefully you can learn some stuff by reading on the boards and go from there, as well as my free mini course. Hopefully that'll help you as well. What's wholesaling? It's finding a deal and getting it to a deal hunter. And basically what you do, and you don't have to have any money necessarily. I had a little bit when I started, but not very much. And give you a quick glimpse on what wholesaling is. My first deal that I did, which is, if you're looking at this on my Facebook account, on the group that I started, it's currently the group logo. When we design a logo, we'll move that somewhere else, but that was my first deal. And what happened was I put some advertising out. I had done some farming, which is driving around an area and writing down the addresses of dilapidated houses and contacting the homeowners. Typically you do that through the county assessor's office. You can get the information. It's all public record. And I sent out postcards, and I got a call back. So I probably sent out a couple of hundred postcards. So you figure the cost on that is postage and gas time to drive around. And then I got a call back, got the information, and I signed up that house under contract for $20,000. And I overpaid for it, and I freaked my wife out. Tracy we hadn't done any deals, so she was freaking out because I came home and said, hey honey, we've got a house under contract, we've got 30 days and we're paying $20,000 cash for it. And Tracy went nuts. She said, hey, we don't have $20,000 cash, how are we going to do that? And I said, well, this contract that I've got, it binds him, but I have a way out of it. It's called the weasel clause, but there are ways that I can get out of it that protect me, but our seller can't get out of it. Took Tracy by the house, which was a mistake because it looked awful. The bathroom, there were no walls really, and it was vines coming up. The floor of the bathroom was dirt, and you look up and there was it was just air. It was the sky because it had no roof in there, and the rest of the house was pretty nasty. It needed a lot of work, a lot more than I was willing to do, because I'm not a handyman, and we'll go into that later. Another thing I'll tell you is a lot of people, a lot of beginners get into this and think, okay, I'm going to rehab a home like they do on some Flip This House, some of those TV shows, and that is the last thing I would tell you to do to get started in real estate, unless you're very experienced in that and are able to fix things up. New investors can really mess themselves over when they get started in a rehab that's more work than they anticipated, and they paid too much for it, and then they're upside down in it and don't have a way out. So that's a problem. Well, with this guy, I'd written a contract. I didn't give him any earnest money. So, you know, like realtors and licensed agents will have you put down $500 or $1,000. No, this was a contract between me and him. We wrote it, and he signed it. We were good to go. And I freaked out Tracy. She said, we don't have that kind of money. I did even worse. I took her there and let her see it, and she was scared to death, because this was like, okay, you're trying this infomercial stuff out. You're crazy. What are you thinking? But I had a good buddy of mine that was a mentor and helped me through it. And I had him and a couple others come take a look at the property, and they let me know that I'd paid too much. Well, oh well. Because if you keep at it, then you can succeed. And so I started marketing it, and different people have different criteria on what they want. Okay, you can sell it to an investor who's wanting to rent it. You can sell it to a rehabber who's wanting